If you Sprout, you already know what I'm about to know. It was bedtime. It was Saturday morning with Caillou. It was a Saturday morning birthday card you made with 830,000 kids. It was Nina and the Star saying to your mum, you need me to explain what don't Sprout. And yet, you can still feel it. And yet, it's gone. Rebranded, gutted, everything stripped and then quietly, with fewer viewers than a mid-tier Twitch and children's television. It's one of the ugliest, a story about greed, death, a channel that got treated like asset on an asset. Give it time. But when I started looking into what actually happens to BBC Sprouts, I expected to see a story about a genuinely special thing. What I actually found was a simple story, piece by piece, and it made me properly angry. Part 1. They took you. For those of us who did those, honestly, I feel sorry for us. PBS Kids Sprout launched in September 2. It was a 24-hour preschool that aired Caillou, Barney, the Tank Engine, the Super Bears, or Berenstain Thomas Y. All day, every day. Yay. But the whole visual identity made me properly angry. Cardboard. The Goodnight Show ran every Goodnight. A host and a puppet would wind down the day with you. Stories. So the first host was a woman called Melanie, who actually got fired after less than a year. The host most people remember is Nina, played by Michelle Leppi, who actually got fired after less than a year. Look, I know how that sounds. It's a birth. Then there was the Sunny Side Up show was Sprout's show. Real hosts, a real puppet chicken called Cheeky Air, held up on air. You had your channel, not Nickelodeon, not Disney, not Nickelodeon, not Disney. Part 2, the deal hits. And here's what people get Sprout about wrong. They think Sprout was actually a joint venture between 4 partners, all of whom wanted completely different things. But really, PBS made it. That's all PBS did. The largest company in America, owned at 4% and ran the data hit Entertainment, the company behind owned 30 years. PBS owned 50%, and Sesame Shop also owned 50%. And PBS and zero cash. Not me. But they had something that Comcast needed more. Here's where it all falls apart. In 2011, Comcast bought Comcast Universe, the same Comcast that already owned the biggest hit entertainment, bought out PBS. Sesame Workshop sold their wall. And I want to be careful about how I frame this, because I've seen people online absolutely destroyed online, but here's penis. So in September 2017, they gutted Sprout entire. They changed the target audience from kids to kids. They filled the schedule with penis.